Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to enable OTG support on the PlayStation Classic using Project Eris. This console has already been modified, so I won't actually be reflashing the kernel, but I'll demonstrate like all the steps on how to do it. And I'll show you what the end result is. And the end result is a $40 to $80 absolute powerhouse of a gaming console. These are fantastic for running retro games, even the full PS1 library. You can mess around and get 64 games to work on this. Dreamcast works a little bit, you know, just kind of depending on how you tweak the games and stuff. But I mean, you can put thousands and thousands and thousands of games on this. And it's absolutely just fantastic. And what I mean by OTG support is this back USB port here, okay? You can use something called an OTG cable. So basically what this does is this plugs into the back. That plugs into your power connector, and then this right here plugs into a USB port or a flash drive. You put a flash drive in here, and this console will actually read the contents of the flash drive and display it on the screen, which is fantastic. I use Project Eris. There's also something called Auto Bleem. I don't really care for that one as much. Project Eris just seems much more fluid for me and my needs. You've got several options for OTG. You've got this dangly thing over here you can use. You can use something a little bit more compact here. There is a trade-off though, because of course your flash drive is going to hang out the side of the system. I think these look kind of neat. And then you've got this thing right here, Avapal. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. But this one is the one I use because it allows you to use 3 USB ports. So you can put your flash drive in one, a wireless controller like the 8-bit DOE adapter into this, and you can even use Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi, adding Wi-Fi support to this is actually kind of crazy, but really the only use for that is to do online achievements through RetroArch and to scrape the game box art and things like that, but we'll get into more of that here shortly. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. First, you have to use the front port, player 2, to unlock the back port. By that, we're going to flash a custom kernel. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And we're going to pop over here and get right to it. Alright, well I still don't have a capture card, so we're going to have to go over this way. First thing you're going to want to do is go over here to modmyclassic.com. okay? It's not really the first thing you want to do, but, well, I mean, you can either way. It doesn't really matter what order you do these in, as long as the final step right here is going to come together. So this site is where you can mod your NES Classic, SNES Classic, your PlayStation Classic, and that Genesis Classic. I've got all of these, so I can show you on these two as well. This one is still new in the box. I don't really know if I want to take that out yet, but anyway, go all the way down here to the bottom. Now I'm going to show you how to do Project Eris, just because you know, it's just my preferred one. So you're going to download this Project Eris folder here. You're also going to need to install something to, well, let's go here first. You're going to want to go and unzip this package. So just go down here to extract all, and it'll extract that. It's a pretty big file. Sorry, my computer's kind of slow, but it usually doesn't take that long. But I won't make you sit through this. Okay, so once that is extracted, it's going to look something like this. You've got your Project Eris, payload version, see all these things. I'll show you about network and Bluetooth a little later. Then here's your ROMs. It's going to already have all the subfolders for several ROMs, and these are things not to mess with. So basically, after this is done, you want to go over to here to your thing, this Rufus here. You want to find your SD card. I'm using a 64 gig for the front port, and then I'm going to use 128 gig for the back port. You can use the same drive for both if you want. It's not really going to make any difference, but I just use 2. But yeah, so basically what you're going to want to do is go here to Rufus or something like that. You want to make it non-bootable. Okay. And then down here in the volume label, this is very important. It has to say Sony in all caps. Okay, and you want it to be FAT32. It's got to be a FAT32 no matter what. Okay, hit start. Warning data. Yeah, we already know. So there you go. So now that is completely formatted. The volume label has been changed to Sony. Okay. So here's our Sony drive, right? So what we're going to want to do is we're going to copy all this stuff right here. Let's delete this stuff. This stuff's not needed. Yes, delete that. Okay, and we're going to paste our new Project Era stuff in here. Okay, so once these are downloaded and in that folder, of course you're going to want to eject it. Alright, and I'll see you in a second at the console. Okay, here we are at the console, and in order to do this, you're going to put your payload here. Okay, of course you plug your controller into your other port here, and then power and HDMI, of course. This is the part I can't really show you, but we're not using the OTG port just yet because it's not unlocked. So basically you want to plug your power cord in. There is something I want to go over with you though. You're going to want to make sure you do. If you're using the back OTG port, you're going to want to use an adapter that is not 1 amp. It needs to be at least 5 volts, 2.4. 2 will work, but 5 amps is not enough to run this. You'll get brownouts and things like that. So you need to basically, I just use this. This is a cheap little on when it's $5. I get a nice thick power cord. You just need a little bit better of a power delivery system for the back. Unfortunately, you can't run everything from the front because there's a low voltage switch in here and it doesn't allow it. So basically what you want to do, once you plug this in, everything's automatic. You plug it in, you turn it on. Everything's automatic. Once it's done, it will turn off. And once it turns off, it's safe to unplug everything and remove your flash drive. And when you plug your flash drive in, it's going to pop back up on the screen. I'm going to show you exactly what that's going to look like. Okay, so now I can just show you my current flash drive. Once you plug it back in, it's going to look like this. Okay, this is going to be your custom kernel and all that. So basically, you want to back this up. Okay, so you want to take all this and copy it and back it up somewhere on your PC in case you ever have any issues. If you'll notice something, there's a couple extra things here. Now we have the ROMs folder like before, but we've also got the games folder. So the games folder, yours is going to be empty. Okay, this is where you drag and drop your PlayStation ROMs. Okay, so if you want to use PS1 ROMs, they go here. You just drag and drop your ISOs in here. Or not your ISOs, I'm sorry, your bin and Q files. Drag and drop your bin and Q files, or you can use CHD format if you want. That's a whole different thing. And your other ROMs are here. So what you're going to want to do is, let's say you wanted to put NES ROMs. You go in and do NES ROMs. I've got mine alphabeticalized right here because you don't want to scroll through 800 games. But let's say, here we go. Here's my S through U. I'm not going to show you where to get these ROMs, but getting ROMs are very easy. But just load up your ROMs. Put your ROMs in. You can put them in any format you want. Put them in just make sure they're in the folder. Game Boy Advance. A lot of them you can leave zipped. If you're doing like TurboGrafx CD or something like that, you're going to want to have the BIOS files. So that's a whole different ballgame. But if you're wanting to use those, basically you go in here to Project Eris. Oh, goodness gracious, I'm sorry. My eyeballs are playing tricks on me. Where was it at? Mods, no. I don't really remember. Bear with me a second. Okay, so we go to Project Eris. We go to Opt, RetroArch, System. This is where your BIOSes go. Okay, so if you want to use consoles that require them. Not many do. But okay, so once you've got your ROMs and everything's loaded onto your system, I'm going to show you what to do next. Okay, so here we are. So any one of your OTGs here will work. You know, doesn't really make any difference. Several options. You know, just for convenience sake, well, no, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to use this one because this kind of encompasses everything. So what you want to do is plug your OTG in right here, okay? And you plug your flash drive here. Then your power, you know, your power input goes here, so on and so forth. You know, you guys have all plugged something up before, so I don't necessarily need to walk you through that. All right, and then you hook it up. So I'll see you guys in a second. And then you just, you know, plug your HDMI in. So see you in a second. Okay, once you're all plugged in, you just press the power button one time. It's going to do this same boot up sequence every time. Might take a couple extra seconds for yours to do it. But this is what it's going to boot up into. The first time you do it, it may take an extra couple seconds. But here we are. So you never really want to go into the RetroArch menu itself. Okay, here's your emulation station. That's what ES is. Emulation station is your retro consoles. So depending on what you put in here, it's going to go through and find all your games. So here's all your games. It's in a nice little menu here. You know, let's say Super Nintendo. You want to go down here to Super Mario Brothers. Or Super Mario World, you know. Super Castlevania. Matter of fact, you know what, we'll do Super Castlevania 4. Everybody's seen Mario. This right here is a gem. If you've never played this game, I highly suggest it. It's fantastic. You can go through and configure your buttons however you want to configure them and all that, but boom, here we go. So when you're done playing a game though, you press start and select at the same time. And then you want to press circle, quit RetroArch. There you go. So it'll show you back as the B button, but really it's circle. Right here, menu, you press start for the menu. You can go to quit. If you want to shut down, you shut the system down. If you want to quit emulation station, you do that. When you quit emulation station, you go back over to here. And then we're going to go to Project Eris. And this is where your PlayStation games are going to be. All your PlayStation games are going to save just like they would save on a classic one. But basically, you just put whatever games you want on here. Best game for that console right there. That's pretty good too, but this is by far my favorite game in the world. But yeah, you go to any which one of these you want to go to, okay? You put whatever you want on here. You can put any game you want on here. I use a 128 gig SD card just because. But see, it loads up like it's nothing. This thing's a powerhouse. This thing will run these games at full speed, PS1 games and below, no problem. Like I said, there's a couple weird systems that's not going to play the best, but, you know, it's got to be something pretty obscure. See, load times are pretty quick too. If you use a good flash drive, you know. When you're done, same as before, quit RetroArch. And you go right back to here. I always click no there, but you can use save states and things like that. It's super cool, super intuitive. You know, if you want to tweak settings, you can. When you want to get out of this menu, it's a little different. You go over here to boot menu and press X. It'll take you back to the original boot menu. Okay. If you want to use Wi-Fi, you can plug in one of these Wi-Fi adapters, TP-Link. They're like 10-15 bucks. You plug it into the one of the other ports on there, and you can go to Network Manager, and it'll pull up your Wi-Fi. You can go to L1 settings here, and this is what I would do. Display games in alphabetical order. and launch games in RetroArch from stock UI. That's what you want to do right here. You want to make sure that you're emulating even the stock games in this, because they run much better than they do on the stock. So always make sure you enable that one. But yeah, there's, see what you can turn on your network support, Bluetooth support here, all that. I mean, this is the most intuitive little machine you can get. It's just fantastic. It's so easy to manage. You know, it plays games from so many different consoles. It's not even funny. If you guys have any questions about this, I know I kind of glossed over the beginning part, but it's automatic. You know, I just couldn't override mine. But it's very much an automatic thing. So you plug it in. See, this thing will even play TurboGrafx CD games, like at full speed without a problem. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let me know if you guys decide to do this, if you have one of these, or if you have another console mod that you'd like to see me do. I'm happy to show you how to do it. I know I don't explain it in the most professional way, but I explain it in a way I feel like other people can understand. So because that's how I would explain it to myself. So anyway, thank you guys. Hope you have a great day. Bye.